Chat, can you imagine the scenes if you start to notice the tide turning? Can you imagine? If you start to notice the tide turning in Duplessis versus Chimaev, you know in round 3 of Merab versus Umar, where you could see Umar was feeling the pace? The endorphins that are going to surge through my body if we are like towards the end of round 2 and Chimaev's looking up at the clock after failing a takedown. And Drickus is still in there with him. Fucking hell, man. I honestly, I don't think I could ever replicate that feeling. With Tom Aspinall, I'm nervous, and then I'll be heartbroken or ecstatic within like a 1 second window. Because that's just how Tom Aspinall fights. But with this one, there's going to be like a surge of like minutes on end of straight endorphins of like the tide turning, maybe. Unless Chimaev just subs him in a round. Farted. Call yourself MMA guru, but you only talk UFC, mostly shitting on it. Will you ever start posting one championship content? No. Think Ilya versus Holloway too. Like, you guys try and out hardcore all the time. I'm a massive MMA fan, but I ain't posting one FC shit content on the channel that's going to get 20k views. Get fucked, man. I don't have to ruin my channel and get less and less views to prove how hardcore I am. Shut the fuck up, you bitch. Go watch one FC, you little fucking weeb. And stroke your little chode to your little weeb martial arts. Fuck off. Think Ilya versus Holloway. There's a lot of them to fuck. I don't know. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you, Colin Natrak. You're such a baby, man. Have a tantrum every time you hear something you don't love. It was a simple question. Last time you'll disrespect me for no reason after giving you my money. Fuck you, dude. Seriously. You know what, dude? If you can't handle a little tantrum after your donation, little lash out, a little energetic response, you're too gay for this stream, dude. Be gone. See you later, dude. You won't be missed. Thank you for we don't have people with fucking bitch ass fucking thin shells over here, buddy. You got to be able to take a bit of an insult. Can't cry about it. So go. Be gone, pussy boy. Yes, we are. Yes, we will oil up Dana, and everyone in this live stream. Ben Cartilage with degenerational delusion today. Yeah, some of these scorecards have been fucking awful. Because they got money on Miles, it seemed that way, yeah. We need Guru as a lone judge. Thank you for the £2. Steals, Bucks. I appreciate the $1 Australian as well. They did John's dirty. Dude, I don't understand what this narrative is, dude. They have no clue what they're watching, yeah. Chat has no clue what they're watching. They're just like every other casual fan. I thought that my fan base was smarter than this, but... yeah, round 2 and 3 were very, very clear rounds to Gene Silver. People are saying things like, round 3, are you okay? Like, Gene Silver did not win the 3rd round. Yeah, the world is lost, and I hate that people can vote. It's an unfortunate thing, but unfortunately most people are retards, which is why we need to bring back dictatorships with me at the forefront. Because no one else can be trusted in this world. You're all retards, most of you. So, yeah. We need to bring back dictatorships, dude. The people can't be trusted. Most people are Down syndrome, fucking unevolved, retard humans. Gene Matsumoto, I said silver. Oh. Thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars. Steph Guthier, I appreciate you, dude. Thank you very much indeed. To do that as Dana. What? At least Chimaev is fun to watch. Chimaev is fun to watch, true. I cried while cage side at the end of 318. Valid. What happened at 318? Oh, I don't know, dude. Poirier's retirement weirdly didn't tug on my heartstrings at all. Anyone else? I don't know why. For other fighters, I feel like I've been a little bit disheartened by their retirement, but for some reason, Poirier's was so numb to me. I didn't find myself caring at all. Really weirdly. Even though I do like Poirier, and he's one of my favorite fighters. I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me. It kind of was just null. Like, oh, Poirier's gone. I don't know, I guess once they announce it for so long, you kind of come to peace with it, like 6 months before the fight even starts. So, here's what it is. Because it was forced so much? Yeah, maybe it was. Even the Lil Wayne walkout, it was like, this is kind of shit. What a shitty retirement. This is the one time he should have done Diamond and then into his James Brown, and instead he's walking out to Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne's got to walk out with him and stand in the background while being completely zoinked out of his mind on weed. It's just like, ugh. Your last retirement walkout should have been a homage to the fans, not a homage to Lil fucking Wayne. The fuck? She gets loads of interaction, so nah. Yes, a lot of it's hatred, though. Yeah, too much focus on retirement and Louisiana shit. Yeah, very true. Yeah, fuck Louisiana. That's what I'm saying as well. That's exactly my point on it as well, mate. I'm glad that we agree. Fuck that fucking dump. Shit old fucking dump of a state. Get some pussy? Some shit like that. 40 and 23. Maybe I'm wrong here. You need to tell Dana to end $80 pay-per-views. True. It'll make MMA the biggest sport in the country. I know it will be. This will be the most... This is the most Apex card. Already read it. Yes, lots are bad, but a woman in my town just won 11.6 million on Betfred off of a 1.50 spin. Worst part is she's a known junkie cokehead. I feel like yes or no, chat. I am all aboard the fucking thing that these bookies have fucking cameras that get to know people that are absolute degenerate gamblers, and those are the people that they let win. I think there's such a disproportionate amount of absolute junkie-minded people that end up winning the lottery or anything along those lines. I feel like a vast minority of people in real life are junkie retards, typically. But a vast majority of like lottery or slot winners or gambling winners in general that win massive are degenerate fucking retards. Which I guess maybe they're running the numbers enough to have a higher chance of winning, but I don't know. I just feel like it's chosen that way, so they intentionally will let people win that will do the dumbest shit ever with their money and no taxes and all of that shit, you know? Thank you for the $2. Luke M. I appreciate the $2, dude. Let me make sure I got the timestamp for this fucking barn burner. Hang on a second. Remember when Rogan accused RDA of PEDs on JRE? Rogan's accused a few fighters of PEDs off of like really baseless claims, but he'll never suggest that Jones has ever been on them once. Remember when he made up a story about Jose Aldo tripping and spilling a piss cup that he immediately never said ever again? That's the ultimate example. In the build-up of the Aldo-McGregor fight, Rogan, for whatever reason, made up a story that some guy told him. Some random guy that maybe like trained with so-and-so had told him the story of Aldo's like coach tripping and spilling piss everywhere to avoid having a drug test or some shit. Rogan had like really weird claims for that, but then just wouldn't make a single slight mention of the fact that Jones could be on something. It was really strange. You've won me $432 with your hesitance on the Julius Walker KO or points takes. So I went with a decision at plus 1,000, yeah. A decision's not bad for Julius Walker there. Thank you. A little elbow there as well. Is this a 10-8? Probably, if he keeps it up for the last minute, yeah, I'd say so. This kind of work rate of ground and pound, I'd say it's a 10-8. What do you think of Moicano's next fight? Oh, triangle attempt from Kazama. He's getting slammed. He got slammed, and he's out. He's out from the slam. Don't go for submissions off your back in MMA. Nasty slam KO from Elijah Smith. Fucking rampage bombs. Toshiomi Kazama out cold in round 1 as he went for a triangle. Late first round finish from Elijah Smith. There you go, dude. I didn't even see the angle of it because all you could see was really the cage and then Elijah Smith's legs. But they're going to show us the angle of the actual slam in a second here. Great camera angle. I know, dude. All you could see was his legs and the cage. But I'd imagine that was a slam KO on his head. Let's see it. Imagine getting KO'd by a woman with a shirt in the UFC. Thank you for the $2. Stranger in a street fight, Aspinall style? Or would it have to be a clubbing, sloppy left hook? I seriously think, and maybe this is a severe overestimation, I really think I could flatline KO someone in a street fight with a jab. Julius Walker still in half guard on top here, by the way. He's just doing his wet blanket thing. Bit of ground and pound here and there, though. But I really think I could KO someone in a street fight with a jab. Chat, is it weird that most of the time I've stood in front of someone in that setting, I've imagined jabbing them in the face? Is that a weird thing? Like when I used to be out and about a little bit when I was younger, if I was in front of someone at like a club environment or outside, I always used to just think like, oh, what would happen if I just fucking shot this jab out from the fucking hip on the lead hand, straight on that jaw? I wonder. Round 2's over. Another dominant grappling round from whatever the fuck this guy, Julius Walker, wet blanketed the last few. And another knee from Eric Anders. Leroy Duncan needs to get out. There you go. He's out. Inside low kick. This is where he's good. Another inside low kick. Oh, spinning elbow rocks Anders. That's where he's good. And he rocked Anders bad. He's hurt him and he's out. Round 1 TKO from Christian Leroy Duncan. Spinning elbow starts it off. Looking like he was getting out muscled for a bit in the clinch there. But once he's separated, dude, that's where he does his best work. Let me see that again. Spinning elbow, dude. Nasty. Only a matter of time on the range on the feet, dude. Only a matter of time. Anders ain't got the speed like that. I used to train at the same gym as Anders, but I picked Duncan. Logical pick, buddy. Logical pick. Welcome to the correct side. Impression of Nate Edwards and... No, not all of that, man. Fights just happened. Might be feeling a lot of pain here, folks. But he stacks over the top. Leg locks don't work in MMA. How many times we got to tell you? Yeah, Francis Ngannou didn't show up to PFL Africa, right? I saw a post about that today. The owner of the PFL was saying it's a disappointment. I thought he really cared about PFL Africa and its launch. And apparently Ngannou's just not showing up to any of the obligations for it. Like he really don't care for real. Good shots of ground and pound the whole way here by Smith, by the way. I've been speaking about the leg lock more than I have that, but he's been beating the shit out of Kazama here so far in the first round. Couple good elbows there as well. Say something about why Francis didn't show up for PFL Africa. Guys, it was... Guys, you got to understand that Ngannou is a really humble dude, and it was all about building up the next generation of Africans and not about the money as to why he left the UFC. That's why he completely no-showed PFL Africa. It's just part of his humbleness. You got to understand it, guys. Okay? Right, Elijah Smith versus Toshiomi Kazama. How would Haggerty do in the UFC? You know what? Give him a year of focused MMA training. I genuinely believe Haggerty could probably get ranked. Not ranked, actually. He could probably be like a Jonathan Martinez. Outside the rankings level guy. But he'd be pretty good. Like, he would win more than he loses, for sure. Got the genes for it. Haggerty's like fast. He's, you know, Jonathan Haggerty to me has always been like a high testosterone version of Corey Sandhagen, you know. I don't know if he's on the sauce. He might be, because it is kickboxing, to be fair, but I feel like he's always been that sort of person. A high T Sandhagen. See what I mean? Guru including chat and Mossad agents. This is a pre-recorded stream. It's not a pre-recorded stream. Spinning elbow leading to a KO in the Apex. And the crowd goes mild. Seriously, what will make them stop using the Apex? It needs to be done ASAP. What I think needs to be done, chat, is I think we need to give it one more year of these Apex events. Then I think at the end of it, we need to do a culling of the UFC roster where we cut a bunch of talent. We cut a bunch of talent. We knock off 1 or 2 fight cards per year. 1 or 2 fight cards per year. and we just lower the amount of fighters that are needed in the UFC. This will give us time to formulate a good way of getting new prospects into the sport, and I think it'd be a good way to cull the fucking runt of the UFC. Because a lot of these shitty Apex cards is just because they have to offer fighters fights, so they're going to put them on these cards. You know what I mean? They're going to shapeshift together these cards and just sort of makeshift, these cards with like all of the fighters that they have to offer fights. Problem is, in the UFC, we've got so many fighters on the roster that we just don't need. You know? Like, genuinely look at, let me just look at the bottom of some of these rankings real quick. Prediction for this upcoming Ashes Test series. I don't care about cricket. No, I'm good. If your Andre Philly prediction hits, I'll admit you're the best predictor on YouTube. I've got Andre Philly, but we'll see. We'll see about it, dude. How dare you disrespect me? We will riot, okay? Biggest backs are the best base, Islam and Ilya. Yeah, backs are powerful. See, I'd immediately chat. I'd look at the lightweight division and I'd go, right, Ottoman Azaitar, you're cut. Alex Reyes, you're cut. Victor Martinez, you're cut. Gage Young, final fucking chance. Mitch Ramirez, you're cut. Anshul Jabli, you're cut. Michael Aswell, you're cut. Darius Flowers, you're cut. Mark Choinsky, you're cut. Matthias Camillo, last chance. You're against Gage Young. Loser gets cut. That's what I'd be doing in the UFC. Rolando Bedoya, see you later. Damir Hadzovic, see you later. Austin Hubbard, we don't need you anymore. That's what I'd be doing, dude. Sadiq Youssef, you're cut. End of discussion, dude. People will be getting dropped like fucking flies. Kurt Holobar, you're out. You know? It'd be ruthless, but it needs to be done. These guys, some of these guys haven't won fights in 5 fucking years, and they're on the roster. Impression of Joe Rogan talking about Ilya's size 6 foot, saying that's the reason Oliveira couldn't land the heel hook. He's got big feet, folks. Oh, he's actually got pretty fucking small feet, folks. Shorter people have powers to control larger people, like avatars, in a way. It's like Real Steel. Here's a 25-month membership. What do I get? Thoughts on the Nina Drama ad? We need a guru ad. Balance out all the skank. What the Nina Drama ad that you're talking about? Is it just her in her bikini again? She just does that once a month on Twitter. You guys still angry about that? Oh, Dana White has great seats. It's just Nina Drama in like jean clothing. And all of the bots are out in force. Do I do a video on Nina Drama in the UFC? Maybe it's time to make another video about what the fuck they're doing with her. Like, is it just to subject the youth? Why would you do this as a promotional style? I just don't get it. I don't get how that promotes the fights in any way. I feel like it just merely whores out Nina. Like, it does not apply to the fights in any way. Black guy had no class after the slam. Punches. Thank you for the $2. When you get on Aiden's stream, ask him to call Dana. I'm 100% going to ask him. Bisping interview would be legendary. Deep down, he likes you, but he can't admit it because of Dana. I think Bisping likes me deep down. Like, if Bisping met me in different circumstances, we'd probably get along, but oh well. Did you see Nina's boxing promo they showed? What was it? Are you really talking boxing or... Oh, yeah, Dana White has great seats. Yeah, this is the shit that they're posting on the fucking UFC Instagram now. Fucking pathetic. And you know what we need to do, chat? We need to start genuinely taking notes. Like, I think as men, we need to start one of those apps. Like, you know the T apps that women have to, like, warn them of men. I think we need to, like, find out who is actually positively commenting on these posts and actually put them on a list somewhere, on a register. They need to know that their name is on a list somewhere. You know? They need that eerie feeling. Thank you for the $2. Which fan base would you say copes the most? Holloway's fan base recently, for sure. Would Pimlet have a chance against Ilya? He would, but I don't think he would win. But yeah, he'd have a decent chance just because of how goofy he is. But I don't think he would win, though. Hate how annoying. You know where it is? Duncan, Jean, Urseg, Fluffy, 350 for 850. Up to you, man. Stop putting that shit on me. Do your own thing. I agree with all of the picks, but I don't agree with the Fluffy pick. Who's Duncan? Oh, Christian Leroy Duncan, yeah. Yeah, I think Delidsy beats Fluffy, though. You think that the UFC isn't going to get rid of the Apex because they're still recovering financially from the Sphere? I don't think they're at the point right now as a sport where they have to recover financially from things. Like, the amount of money that they've made, I don't see why they are still like... I feel like businesses need to work with more of a surplus of money, you know? Rather than every bit of profit being seen as a profit, you know? But I know the UFC does put money back into the sport, but there should be no point where you're doing the Sphere, so therefore we need to do Apex cards later that year. And they're not rationing like they're living in a fucking council house, you know what I mean? They're the UFC. We're going to get Till and Guru again? Maybe we'll get Till and Guru again, yeah? In Ibiza. I'm down to do Till and Guru stream in Ibiza. Will Adam Ross dig to your place for the stream? Maybe he will dig to my place, yeah. I've got a drainage pipe outside the house and he might pop out of. Fernandez, your nan's dead's. Alright. Are you happy to see the Dorcas bros get KO'd again? Yeah, dude, I didn't see it enough. I feel like I didn't see it enough, you know. Yes. Chat, yes or no? Once your foreign accent makes you sound funny, you inherently just become a funnier person. Not because the accent sounds funny, but because the way people respond to you, it just makes you like a more comedic personality in general. So I feel like Moicano and Costa probably started learning English and everyone told them and people were just laughing at them. So they sort of like made it their personality to try and be funny. But they are funny in general, so. But I think it's something to do with the accent. The Brazilian accent, for some reason, is especially funny, you know? But they are funny people in general. But, you know, everyone's got funny people. It's just, you know, why are they so funny? Probably the accent. Guru, can you show us some dance move? No. Dilidzi is just Paul Craig undercover. He is. Undercover Paul Craig, the double threat of MMA. But he's a double threat, not a single threat like Paul Craig. Favorite tough season 1 fighters? Love for the Yanks.